Man, I wasn't paying attention. I was walking down here in the woods, and not 100 feet from me, 50 feet from me, there was a deer. I walked right up on her. She's still right over there. I can see her. I don't know if you'd be able to. I don't have a zoom, and she's behind the weeds a little bit. You might be able to see the movement. Oh, there's two of them. I see two of them. So I'm gonna walk. Wow, why are they so timid or tame? They're both looking at me. So there's a tree. There's a tree over here on the other side of the property, the fence. Then there's another tree. Right down from that tree is one. And then we have this skinny tree here. And just to that right of that one back there is another one. That one was right here, right where I'm standing now. She didn't run away. She just kind of walked away and jumped over the fence. Now you might be able to see the movement. Definitely not scared. Oh, there's a third one I see back there. Wow, they're just not scared. I know they're poached around here. I got a skull I showed you several times of a deer that was poached, and it ran off and jumped into my yard and died. It stunk for the longest time. It took me a while to find it. So yeah, I still see three. Only one of them's concerned about me. I hope you got to see that. I'll find out in editing, but that is neat. That's the neat thing about living out here is some of the stuff that you just don't get to see in everyday life. I know when I was a nomad, you would thought that I would have got to see a lot of stuff like that, but I think when we were in South Dakota, deer would come out pretty close right at dusk, but they were hidden in weeds that you couldn't ever see them. But I know there was a ton of them out there. I never got to see much wildlife. Well, I don't know, but out here you see it all the time. That is just neat. They're not scared of us. There's a ton of them around here. A ton. You see them dead on the side of the road everywhere. There's a Dollar General about, I don't know, well, I don't want to give you how many miles. Somebody actually found me because I said where the Dollar General was. We go to Dollar General at night, well, after dark, dusk, and there's three of them right there eating along the wall of the Dollar General. I don't get it. I don't know. It's such a nice area. So I came down here to inspect the future site of our hog pen. The only thing I think I'm going to have to get rid of is that little sapling there, and depending on how big it is, maybe that one. I don't think so, but maybe. And we're going to put it down here. I don't even think I'm going to cut up the weeds. I mean, I might bring a lawnmower down here to chop them up, as long as there's not too many rocks down here. The only reason I think I need to cut them up is because it's thorny bushes and I don't want to cut up the pigs. So I came down here to look. We're getting close. We've got another couple months and we'll get the hog panels. That won't be a big deal. But we've been doing a lot of research on it, making sure we got all of our I's dotted and T's crossed. Well, you know, this area might be better right here. The only sapling I'd have then is that little cedar tree. We'll have to lay it out and figure it all out. Yeah, we just got these two saplings that are kind of in the way. But I think this would be a good spot for them. It'd be nice and shaded, because in the summertime, the canopy there blocks all the sun. So they won't get sunburned or overheated. We'll give them plenty of water. The only downside to this spot here is it's so far from the well that I'd have to run a lot of hose to give the pigs water. But with the lawnmower, I got that bucket rack on the back. I can just fill the buckets up and bring them down, dump them. Might be the easiest thing to do. I know somebody's gonna say, why don't you just get a hose? Well, when you put that, although it's all downhill, when you put that much resistance for that far of a distance on that well pump, because it doesn't have a pressurized tank, it would wear out the well pump a little bit faster than I would like. So I don't want to wear it out. That's the only downside. So Carolyn and I have been talking a lot about diets, especially today. We've been talking a lot about it today. Last time I talked about our diet, the video didn't do well, so I did some research on other homesteaders to see, because they do, the other homesteaders and off-grid folks, they talk a lot about diet. But when I talked about it, it didn't do well, so I didn't want to just keep doing diet videos and them not do well. But I think if I apply it right, we might be able to get a pretty good video out of this. But today, someone commented, I talked about pork a while back and how Carolyn and I are starting a carnivorous diet. Somebody said, that's crazy. You got to have these beans and a vegetarian diet. Carolyn and I have been trying to eliminate carbohydrates out of our diet. We have not gotten near to the level where we need to be, but we've completely stopped eating bread. We haven't ate any bread in a couple months. Now, noodles is a big problem for us because we've got so many noodles. We stockpiled noodles, actually. So we got a lot of noodles and we don't want to waste the food. But the thing is we were eating noodles probably 2 or 3, 4 times a week. Carolyn makes macaroni and cheese as a side dish regularly. Well, she stopped doing that. Now we've had, we'll have spaghetti and that kind of thing. The other thing we did is chicken noodle soup, which has noodles, spaghetti noodles. Well, here's what we've noticed is when we eat a carnivorous diet, totally meat-based diet, and a vegetable, maybe rice, although some people are going to say that's not good for you either. I agree, it's not completely good for you, but at least it's a natural carbohydrate, not this processed food stuff. So the day before yesterday, trying to get back to on track here, I had chicken noodle soup. Lots of noodles, very little chicken. Well, it made like 2 days worth of food. So I ate it for the meal, and within a couple of hours, I was hungry again. I had another bowl of it. And so what I noticed is I'm eating more frequently with all the noodles. Well, then the next day we had some more left over, and again, hungry all day. Now, not to get too disgusting, but it also makes you go to the bathroom more. I guess so, because that food is not actually being absorbed into the body. Well, then the next day, for lunch, Carolyn made cheesy scrambled eggs with sausage mixed in. That filled me right up. I think I had 3 eggs, some sausage. It was all mixed in together. It's a great meal. And of course, we got the chicken, so plenty of eggs. And I noticed I wasn't hungry. Supper time came around, and again, I wasn't starving hungry, like I just need to dive into this food. She made some sort of pork. She cooked the pork on the wood stove for hours, just let it simmer. It was so tender. She made potatoes, which again has carbohydrates, but it's natural carbohydrates. If you're eating this keto diet, you're not supposed to have more than 50 grams of carbohydrates per day. Well, I mean, we're not on keto, but we're trying to reduce it. And I think the bread and the noodles was the big thing that was causing us. Well, now normally we'll have popcorn at night as a snack. And I noticed that I didn't even ask for popcorn. I didn't feel the need for it. It just completely slipped my mind. I wasn't hungry at all. Went to bed completely full. Now with the chicken noodle soup, we had popcorn. And right before I fell asleep, I felt like I could eat again. The processed foods, the carbohydrates, don't fill you up. It just goes right through you. There's no nutritional value in it except fat. Carbohydrates makes you fat. Today we were talking about carbohydrates and how well are we doing, and we're not doing great, but we're getting a lot better. I think the key is that we're conscious of it. We're aware of carbohydrates now. And instead of saying, oh, mac and cheese, we're like, maybe not. Now, Carolyn makes a mean plate of spaghetti, so it's hard to just put all of it down. She makes it good. So we decided, well, maybe once a month we'll have spaghetti. And occasionally, maybe have some mac and cheese. Not all the time, not every other meal. And so Carolyn's just right now trying to figure out how much meat it takes for us to eat. You don't eat as much. You eat your meal and you're fine. You don't come back 10 minutes later and eat some more. I think this is a great diet that we're on. Now, John, one of my friends on Facebook, he follows this channel. I think he was like the 3rd subscriber that I had. Yeah, I think he's watched every video. He posted on Facebook one of my old videos when we were nomads, and the thumbnail had me standing in front of the pop-up camper. This was years ago, what, 4 years ago? And I saw my gut. It was sticking out there quite a bit. And today I don't have that kind of gut. The only thing we're really eating as nomads was peanut butter, on bread during lunch, and then Carolyn would make some sort of meal. Again, probably a pasta meal with meat, anything to make food stretch, because we didn't want to go to the store all the time, because we'd have to stay out there 2 weeks at a time, and our refrigerator was only so big, so you just didn't eat a lot of meat. And here I am, I'm healthier. I know I've lost weight. I don't have a scale, so I don't know how much, but I don't have that belly anymore. So today, Carolyn and I was looking at different things in the house that we have. You know, the noodles, how many carbohydrates is that? And bread. Of course, we didn't have any bread. Carolyn had an old bread wrapper, and we've reduced a ton of carbohydrates out of our diet, and we're feeling a lot better, stronger, which got me to thinking, back in 2008, my ex-wife and I ran our own company, and we ran out of money. So we were raising goats and sheep, chickens and ducks. I'm sure I'm missing something, rabbits. And then we had a garden. And I remember my ex-wife losing a ton of weight. Now at the time I was thinking how terrible it is that she lost so much weight. You know, in Western society, I guess you don't expect people to lose that much weight and think, oh, they're still healthy. Of course, me trying to be a good supportive husband, I felt like I wasn't doing my job because I couldn't bring in an income. But now I got to thinking about it today. She was probably more healthy than ever. I understand now that eating meat requires you to eat less food. It's quite incredible. You just are not hungry after you eat. So if you'll check out that video here, I'd appreciate it. It's to my other channel. Give it a try, see if you like it. I hope I can inspire you to get healthy so you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.